Factorization of the quadratic trinomial. The most important thing to notice at the start is that each expression should be written in the standard form, as we discussed in the previous video. These four examples are already in the standard form. When we start out, we need to ask ourselves, what times what will give me 5? So I'm taking a guess and I say 5 times 1. Next up, I want to figure out what times what will give me 10. 2 times 5. Now I'm going to multiply laterally. 5 times 2 is 10. 1 times 5 is 5. Because I see a plus over here, I will also add these two answers. It gives me 15. But I needed 27, so this was not a good guess. Let's try something else. So 5 times 1 gives 5. 5 times 2 gives 10. And if I multiply laterally, 5 times 5 gives 25, 1 times 2 gives 2. I'm still adding them together because of this plus. That gives me 27. This is a good guess. So I write down the two brackets. And over here is the 5 times 1. 5 times 1. Now I'm going to follow the little arcs to find out where to write the other numbers. So the 5 I multiplied by 5. So I'm following the arc, and over there I see a 5. And the 1 I multiplied by 2. So I'm following this arc and I write down the 2. Next up, I write down what each arc represents. So this is 2x, this is 25x. And since I need a plus 27, I am going to put a plus for each of these arcs, so the signs in both brackets are positive. Example number 2. What times what will give me 6? It's 2 times 3. What times what will give me 12? It's 2 times 6. This is a guess. Now I'm going to multiply laterally. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 6 is 18. Since I see a minus in the expression, I'm going to subtract these two numbers. 18 minus 4, it gives me 14. And this is what I'm looking for. So this was a good guess. I write down the two brackets. 2x and 3x gives me the 6x squared. Now I'm going to make the two arcs. 2 times 2 is 4, so the 2 is multiplied by another 2. And the 3 is multiplied by 6. 3 is multiplied by 6. I write down on the arcs what is the answer. 6 times 3 is 18. 2 times 2 is 4. I need a negative 14. So I'm going to make it negative 18 and plus 4. Negative 18 plus 4 gives negative 14. So it's minus 6 times 3 and plus 2 times plus 2. The third example. 15 is given by 5 times 3 and 2 is given by 1 times 2. If I multiply laterally, 5 times 1 is 5, 3 times 2 is 6. Since I see a plus here, I will add these two answers together. It gives 11, and this is what I was looking for. So I had a good guess. I'll write the two brackets, and the 5y and the 3y gives me the 15. Then I will make the arcs and see 5 times 1. So the 5 needs to be multiplied by a 1. The 3 needs to be multiplied by 2. 3 times 2. This arc, 2 and 3, gives 6y. 5 times 1 is 5y. I need negative 11. So I'll make both of them negative. Minus 6 and minus 5 gives minus 11. So both signs in the brackets are negative. This expression is x squared plus 3x minus 10. I can imagine that there is an invisible 1 in front of the x squared. So what times what gives 1? It can only be 1 times 1. and 10 can be given by 5 times 2. If I multiply laterally, 1 times 5 is 5, 1 times 2 is 2. Since I see a minus here, I will subtract, and my answer is 3, and this is what I was looking for. So in the first positions, I write a 1x and a 1x, then I make the arcs and check out to see the 1 is multiplied by 5 and the other one is multiplied by 2. So this arc here is 5x, this arc over here is 2x. I need a positive 3x, so I'll write down a plus 5 and a negative 2. Plus 5, negative 2 gives me plus 3x.